I'm here with Deborah McGill at Great Spirits Ranch, and we're talking about our Dream Shield UFO Ascension workshops that we're doing in conjunction with the Skywatch that'll happen at night. And Deb's going to do a workshop about interpersonal ascension, as we've sort of dubbed it together. I guess I'll just start off right away by saying, for me, always relationships always been like the thing I've never quite mastered in my life. So I'm very interested in what you're going to be teaching.
It's relationship really has to be with the self first.
Yeah.
And really that's the beginning, I believe. And when there's a saying, I don't want to get it wrong, know thyself, to thine own self be true. It's getting to knowing yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's the first thing.
And what do you mean by being true to yourself?
Most people give themselves up in relationships to stay in the relationship.
That's my problem.
That's
right
it?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't sacrifice yourself. When you show up in a relationship, you have to really be who you are. And if you don't know who you are and you're looking for that person to complete you, or that type of thing, typically it runs into power struggles, that type of stuff, where that's where the energy gets really intense.
Yeah, it's really weird,
Yeah.
Power struggle would be how it feels, yeah.
It's an energetic power struggle of values, typically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I took a long break from relationship when I came out here to Hollywood, just sort of working on my screenplays and movies and stuff, and then recently I've sort of started gently sort of getting my toe back into the water, but
Good metaphor.
yeah, it's been interesting though. I like pull a toe out right away, Woo! It's hot in there, or it's cold, or whatever, I don't know.
What are you feeling when that happens?
That instant feeling of losing myself, and that's my, and I haven't mastered. So I'm able now to stay in myself, but only by staying by myself, So
What do you mean by yourself?
not be into any kind of serious relationship. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when you get into something, I believe, I work with, as you know, at Esalen, but we teach a little bit about holding hands and making plans. And what typically couples do is they find that they have that great attraction, right?
Yeah.
And it just feels so good.
It's yummy.
Very much so, exactly.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that's really them and the attraction. And so what they do is they go, oh, gee, and then they come together. And typically the sexual attraction that you're talking about there, that's so yummy, that's really the woundedness, I'm sorry to say.
Wow, yeah.
So they come together and they have this passionate, relationship. And slowly but surely, the shadow, if you will, starts to come out. And the power struggles start, and the fussing starts, and what the personality or whatever the woundedness is wanting to do is to get healed. And so we need each other to at last become truly human. So what needs to happen is, when you're in the relationship, to bring consciousness to it. There's a work called Imago, which Harville Hendricks did it. A lot of books and different things, but it's all on the unconscious mate selection. And so what happens is, what his work does is brings all the shadow or the unconscious stuff in that relationship that's from from the parents, and all the other relationships that they've had. It's just like when you're in a relationship and you haven't processed your work, you're bringing pretty much all of your woundedness and all your stuff into the here and now. And so when you're reacting to that person outside of you, when you get into these power struggles, what's going on is you're projecting some of your fears and your hurts and all that stuff. So when you bring that to consciousness...
Why do we do this in the first place, though? Why? I'm so conscious of this,
The dance? What?
Why is that such a part of our human nature, that we look for resolving the past with a present relationship?
I think it has to be that way. I don't know. You know what?
It's a good question.
It is, isn't it? I'm a Jungian, so that means I believe in individuation and finding my own self. And Jungian goes on and on and on. So it's really knowing who you are, and going even into cultures and going beyond, and anchoring everything back into your own soul. It's that individuation piece that wants to get healed. The soul wants to get healed.
So it's the soul.
I think so. There is, it's Many Lives, Many Masters. It's a fantastic book about past lives. And there's people that have come into therapy, this particular woman that he's talking about, that she had stuff that he could get to everything, but he couldn't get to that. And he's a psychiatrist, and he got really like, okay, and so he really kind of went, crazy over here in a really healthy way, and started doing stuff with her to pull her out and take her into, I think, hypnosis and that type of thing, but somehow getting into her trance and going back to her past lives. And when he did that and taking her back there, she healed that in that session, and then came out into this lifetime and didn't have that problem anymore.
Wow.
Isn't that intense?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Could this happen on September 15th for us?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I believe in magic.
Well, I do too, and it's kind of a magic thing that's happening. We're coasting into the end of the Mayan age here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
There's just so much. It's like it ranges all the way from fear of like catastrophes to joy. It's really going to be somewhere, I guess, in between. There's going to be a lot of shifting, a lot of things happening, but
it is
the
so
relationship,
much shifting,
though,
yeah.
the relationship component is big. I really feel that, and that's why we ended up coming together for this event. So,
Indeed.
yeah.
It's one person can stand alone, but you put two people like this. Look at the power in that, right? And we do need each other to at last become truly human. That's a quote by Frederick Buechner, who, in listening to your life, and I read it, I think in '94, and it really kind of changed my life, of knowing what we really do need as human beings, and we can't do it in a vacuum. We need each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and we're not just going to be talking about personal relationships, man and woman, but just our whole relationships with each other as as groups and support systems and all the things that we need to survive in this world.
Our boundaries.
Yeah,
Boundaries
too, right?
Yep. Boundaries, knowing who you are, knowing your, just kind of getting people in the body. I think for my work, I think that's the important part. It's very important. A lot of people are in here and they're just in their heads, and what I love to do is bioenergetic work of helping people to anchor it down in their bodies and really feel it, because we are such energetic beings. We feel things.
Well, you went past a big term there, bioenergetic. What is that?
Bioenergetics are getting the groundedness in the body. We have 3 sets of balls.
Okay.
You have the eyeballs.
Right.
You have your balls. I have ovaries, or once I did, and then the balls in the feet. And so when you get people, if I could stand up, but I'm not going to, but when you get people grounded in those 3 areas, and you're going to get them, wide-eyed and just more in their body, and then movement,
Right.
a lot of movement and breathing and that type of things. It's very fun.
You're very lively. I think that sounds like that'd be right up your alley, that kind of
I
approach.
love, and movement.
Yeah.
Movement. People need movement.
It's going to be an intimate size event because Renato Longato had trouble with our event in July 14th because we had 100 some people here, and they were all scattering all over the ranch. And,
I remember
and he wants to really focus everybody's attention on these different. I hear Sadie the pig somewhere nearby.
Yeah, I know. I love that pig. So cute. I'm not even sure which day you're planning on this, but for my work.
Yeah, it'd be Saturday.
So it'd be before, right?
Yeah.
Because that I think is brilliant. Because to be able to get
You're
people
the first
grounded.
workshop.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
To get people grounded in that and get them energized and lively in their bodies, and then talking about the interpersonal and all those dynamics.
Yeah, we're going to start with your workshop. Go 3 hours or so, and then just relax until James Hyman's going to come and do his thing again, where he's going to give a talk about the shift and that sort of thing. And then it'll be Renato Skywatch, and that's an overnight, so we'll be able to really bond as a group. I think it's pretty interesting, since we're talking about this interpersonal ascension, the importance of group, and see if this could become sort of a group, that has a repeat experience at some point.
The bonding of that is, and the cohesiveness really moves mountains.
Yeah, especially while we're going to be looking for extraterrestrials. Now, extraterrestrials in relationship, why? What is your thinking on that? I mean,
I tell you, I'm going to go back to an old school movie, Cocoon. Do you remember?
Yeah, I love that movie.
It's great movie. And remember that they came. I can hear the pig. How great is that?
Sadie's going by up there. So, oink, oink.
They became younger. See, I don't know. I think we get younger personally, but I think
Time is.
yeah,
really
right. There is no time. That's
part of the third dimension. We're going in the fifth dimension.
But do you remember the scene in the boat? I think and she's an alien. She's very beautiful, and she peels off. Listen to the pig. She peels off her suit because she's pure spirit. I'll never forget the scene. She's pure spirit. She's just a light being, pure light.
Yeah.
Shaped. And when she was, and so she zips it off, and you just see this light. And then she tells him to come here, and she does this with the hands. And it's just that energy. It's stuff that we know today as Reiki and energy and all of that. So I think that's a big piece of it.
It's interesting you bring up Hollywood because it really is an interesting tool for psychologists, isn't it? The whole movie industry. I mean, you could almost take a movie store and instead of having it divided by drama and horror and this, you could divide it by emotions just as easily.
Oh yeah, there's actually
Fear
books.
department,
You can buy a book. If I have a client that comes in and has a certain DSM diagnosis, I don't do that anymore, but and has something that's going on in their life, an issue, I can give them a movie to go watch that will kind of pull up the emotions, because what we're trying to do is get rid of the locked cell dead emotion in our bodies that gets locked in, the trauma or whatever from our childhood. We're wanting to pull that up and out so we can become lighter. So, and I think that happens too when couples, come together, and when they're lighter, it's another frequency. It's another energy that's coming, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so, actually.
So, Cocoon is an excellent movie to bring up as an example of ETs and the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And Close Encounters of the Third Kind was a group experience too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The whole group was all coming together, and the people that come to this event are all coming from. There's people coming from as far away as Argentina for this event.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and New York. We have a person coming all the way from New York. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But it's a very small group. It's probably going to be 10 to 20 people, and that's it.
Yeah, that'll be powerful.
It'll be very powerful. Yeah. Yeah.
And doing the energetic work and those type of things and just people coming together. It is about consciousness, and you get people coming together with the same consciousness and kind of rising up, and just in that lighter, it opens up.
Tell us what you think about Great Spirits Ranch here. And you've been here a couple times. Debbie's little paradise here.
Yeah, it fully.
I'm talking about Deborah Malmazzata now.
Yeah,
Of course, listen with all the Deborahs here.
Yeah, of course.
Dr. Deborah.
Dr. Deb in the house. This is an amazing place. I'm just going to talk over here for a second. I highly recommend people coming here. It's just freaking amazing. I love Esalen so much. It's one of my favorite places on the planet. And I love Shasta, and I love just sacred sites. And this place has the energy of that. It's a vortex. It feels amazing. Yeah, it truly does.
I call it a little.
Please come, people.
Someone named it Shastina the other day.
Shastina, I like
cute.
it. That's really cute. But great. What is it?
Sister.
Spirit Ranch is better. Spirit Ranch. Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. It's an amazing place here, and I understand you're going to do organic food.
Yeah.
Is that what I heard?
Definitely going to do some good, healthy organic food.
Yeah.
That's all Deborah Malmazzata does. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
maybe
fantastic.
we'll even get her to break out one of her. She has a vineyard here, and maybe we'll even get her to break out a bottle of her special wine for us. Yeah.
That would be quite nice, wouldn't it?
Anyway, we're really excited, and thank you so much for being part of this workshop and this whole event that's coming together in September.
My pleasure and joy.
Oh, and one more thing. Where can people get a hold of you who can't come to the event but would like to use your services because you're amazing?
I'm on Facebook. In fact, I'm a Facebook fanatic and putting my work out there. So Deborah McGill.
Great.
At Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the
I'll
best
put the
thing.
link down in the description here on the video.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I have Global Heart Wisdom. I do have a website, but it needs to be revamped. So
we're going to do that for you, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That'll be a Buzzsprout thing for you. Well, thanks so much.
Oh, my pleasure.